Well, well, well. So, as I'm filming this, I have no idea what's going to happen with TikTok in the United States, but I figured it's very possible that this is my last Thursday here, and since I already have the food items, I thought, why not just go ahead and use them, film it, put this out. So, we'll see what happens. So, if we stay on, this would just be episode 41. If we get taken down, then this will double as the series finale, at least on here. I am still going to continue the series on other platforms. You can find all of those linked. And who knows, maybe it'll even expand my audience a bit, probably, right? On a different platform. Maybe I'll finally get some penetration in America. So we have 3 items to go through today. The first are these walnut whips from Nestle. I know you pronounce Nestle differently. It's okay. Hang in there with me, guys. We'll get through this together. 6 milk chocolate whirls with fondant centers topped with a walnut piece. Oh, and it says here that 1 whip equals 1 serving. Well, that's very simple and considerate. So I think here whip is a noun in this context, I suppose. Then I have from Mr. Kipling, I have these Bramley apple pies. Intrigued by this only because I'm not entirely sure what Bramley apples are. I assume they're a kind of apple. I'm just being honest, I've never seen that before. Short crust pastry cases with a Bramley apple filling. We've just been through so much together, Mr. Kipling, haven't we? Then, continuing with the apple theme, I have this Coleman's applesauce. It says grown in Britain, which is great. Now, I wanted to pick this up because my suspicion looking at this, and again, I could be very wrong about this, but I think this is another one of those items that does get a bit lost in translation. So what we call applesauce is not what you call applesauce, I think. I could be wrong when I open and try this, but so this, just the way that this is jarred and it's coming from Coleman's, I'm kind of assuming here that you use applesauce as more of a condiment, whereas that's not what we call apples. Our applesauce is something that you eat on its own. It's usually for children and babies, but adults eat it too. It says on the top here, Coleman's mustard, have you tried it? Clearly, this jar has not watched my series, or else it would know that I have. The walnut whips. Oh, okay, so these are much smaller than I was imagining they'd be. Okay. Okay, so here it is. So this is, I don't want to accuse you of being misleading, but images may appear larger than they actually are. This is, but okay. Cute. Okay, so the tastes of these are perfectly fine. Perfectly good. I like the walnut on the top as a nice touch, a bit of crunch. Otherwise, I think this would be a bit too plain. I am perplexed by the shape and the size of these. Because, as you saw, an individual one of these, it's, it's more than a mouthful. It's like 3 bites, approximately. So it actually is a bit challenging and awkward to eat, especially with the whip that's on the inside. So I'm not understanding the appeal of the shape, although I'm sure I can predict the comments now. Can I guess? Can you guys let me guess? The comment is going to be something like, oh, you don't know that? In primary school, we all balance them on our forehead and count to 10 while reciting Shakespeare, and if you can do it, then Bob's your uncle. Like, it's going to be something like that. That's my prediction. We'll see if I'm right. But I feel like whenever there's something that is, like, shaped in a very specific way, there's always, like, a tradition that goes all the way back to, like, when you were 5 years old. So we'll see. But yeah, walnut whips. Mr. Kipling's Bramley apple pies. So right off, this tray is a bit flimsy. I'm a little concerned about the stability of this tray. Others from Mr. Kipling have a much sturdier tray, so I'm not really sure what's going on here. I am so sorry to report. I think this is the first bad thing from Mr. Kipling's I've had. When I'm even grading them on a curve a little bit because I love them so much. These are not working. I don't know, and I checked, these are not expired. I don't know if they just didn't travel well, or I don't know what's happening here, but there's actually really hardly any filling in here at all. It really is just like the pastry. Like, they're tiny little bits of apple, but they're all completely dried out. There's otherwise nothing in here. It's a weird experience. Like, it's all completely hollow. And I've tried a couple just to make sure I didn't like have a bad one or something. They all seem to be like this. So Yeah, I'm gonna bet that this is something that just it got lost in the travel of things, maybe, or maybe they're always like this. I don't know, but oh, I can't recommend. I can't recommend. You have treasures awaiting for you if you go down the Mr. Kipling road. Just don't start here. And the Coleman's applesauce. Just gonna try just a tiny, tiny bit. Yeah, so suspicions confirmed. I think I was correct. This is way too strong and way too sweet for this to be something that you eat on its own. This is definitely a condiment of some kind. What exactly would you put this on? I'm curious to know. And also, do you have the equivalent of our applesauce? I'm guessing not, or maybe you call it something else. Be interested to know that. Maybe you just don't have it that commonly, but be interested to know that as well. But this tastes perfectly good. It's clearly a condiment meant to be put on top of something, is what I'm gathering. Thank you very much for your recommendations. And if this is goodbye on TikTok, thank you so much for such a wonderful series. Please follow me elsewhere, but we will all keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully, I will see you next time.